Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our Impact Wrestling save on TEW. This is the last episode of the month before we are officially on the stretch to Bound for Glory. And the good thing is I think actually all of our feuds will make it to Bound for Glory intact. So we'll get into the episode. Tonight's episode is 17 segments, 115 minutes. Of course, last week we set up a series of big matches. Tag team title match. TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. There's a contract signing for the X Division title tonight. So let's get into it. So we open up again. Same thing as always. 49 written. Josh Matthews, Don Callis, sort of doing the same thing I just did, where they hype up the card for tonight. Then we hop straight into another previously announced match, a 6 women's tag team match. Our Knockouts champion on one side, Deonna Purrazzo, and Jordan Grace on the other. Jordan Grace's team picks up the win as Jordan Grace pins Tasha Steelz with a fall from Grace. 38, so a decent match. Havoc gets a 40, 44 for Grace, 36 for Nevaeh. So it's good to see that Havoc's maybe that high. We might have to remember that to maybe be able to bring Havoc into a big feud like this. Because if she's that, you know, Deonna Purrazzo's there on a 43, Kiera Hogan 32, and Tasha Steelz 29. So it seems like Havoc is on the outside, close to being maybe in the title picture at some point. So that's something to look out for. And we're going to be able to stretch Grace and Purrazzo to Bound for Glory. I think it'll be their final match, their kickoff, but it means after that the Knockouts division can start a big jump. 262 people only in attendance tonight. Not sure what our attendance usually is, but that doesn't seem that great. And then just a stare down as Jordan Grace's team celebrate in the ring. Deonna Purrazzo leaves, holds her title up on the ramp. The two of them exchange looks. It's clear the feud is heated. They hate each other now. 42 rated match between Heath and Rhino against Reno Scum. 7:43. Rhino pins Luster the Legend with a power driver. Luster got a 30, 27 for Thornstowe. 49 and 46 for Heath and Rhino respectively. Not bad. Kind of what I was expecting from this lot. I don't know if we've had Reno Scum on TV much. But we just need to keep Heath and Rhino rolling over at the minute. Then so we'll cut to commercial break, and when we come back, there's a quick segment of Reno Scum feeling very down on themselves. Sort of, you know, wrecking backstage. They start picking on Daga, being smaller than them, and then Big Hernandez comes in, stands up for Daga. Next week we'll have Reno Scum versus Daga and Hernandez, so we can test chemistry with Daga and Hernandez. Hopefully that goes well next week. It's not going to get an amazing rating, although Daga and Hernandez are more over than Reno Scum, but we'll just see how it goes. Well, I think, has Daga been released recently from Impact in real life? Obviously we'll not be doing that, but I think he's been released in real life. Then we have a 43. I was hoping for a little bit better there from Eric Young. But essentially Young's promo is just him talking about how he's put Rich Swann out of commission again. Only for a wee bit now, but you know, for him this was just business. He was just trying to make an impact. And it was never personal. He was just trying to stamp his authority back on the roster that he left, and where he believes he is, you know, should be received as a big deal, an icon, a TNA legend, whatever you want to call it. But for Swann, this is clearly personal, and Eli doesn't like that. That's not how he rolls. But he warned Swann that Swann's not ready for this, and Swann doesn't want none of this. On to the next segment. Sami Callihan beats Raju in a 51. That's good. 5 minutes as well. Sami got a 52. Raju got a 38. Pretty good. You know, getting Callihan on TV a bit more again. Should we end up putting Ken Shamrock with Callihan? I know we haven't in the game yet. I think we might have a feud where we can for him, but I don't know if it'll be just yet. But again, 51 is a good rating. Then after the match, Callahan just calls out RVD and says, look, clearly they don't get along. Callahan wants to clean up the, what's left of RVD in his words. And he challenges him to a match at Bound for Glory. Again, 53, pretty good. 42 for the Tennille Dashwood Susie match. Again, something we built up last week. Susie gets a 42, Tennille Dashwood gets a 43. Again, similar numbers to our Knockouts title contenders. In a 736. Tennille Dashwood does win with a quick cradle, but there's a bit of cheating again. And after the match, we have a segment between the three people involved in the storyline, adding Kelly Ray to the incident, of course, who would be at ringside. There's maybe after the match, after this quick roll up, there's a few words exchanged between Susie and Tennille. It maybe gets a bit physical again. Kylie gets in and tries to split it up because, of course, she believes they're both genuinely her friends. And she splits it off, and Susie leaves. Susie goes down the ramp, leaving Kylie in the ring with Tennille Dashwood. Susie was pro and improvising, but the other two did a very good job. It's good to see. 39. Tag team title hype video. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton against Motor City Machine Guns. Big match. Will the young up-and-comers beat the veteran, legendary Impact Wrestling tag team? 54. I think that's the best match we've ever had? Question mark? I think so. The Motor City Machine Guns defeat Ace Austin and Madman Fulton when Alex Shelley pins Ace Austin in 1346 with a underarm snap STO following interference from Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, of course. The Motor City Machine Guns make defense number 2 of the Impact World Tag Team titles. Good match. Of course, it's keeping the storyline rolling over. I know the North are involved, but it's keeping the storyline rolling over. The Guns have made their second defense. Shelley got a 51, a 53 for Sabin, 44 for Fulton, and 53 for Austin. A tag specialist bonus for Shelley and Sabin. And Ace Austin has again invented a new move. I don't know if it's the same move that he's routinely using, and that's why it's still a hot new move, or if he's busting out a new move like every time he's in the ring, but either or. I think the kid, at some point, if this save goes long enough, may be an Impact World Champion. Or he'll at least hold gold. Almost definitely. After the match, as Fulton and Ace Austin are going off the ramp to leave, there's a bit of a stare down between them, the Good Brothers, and the Guns. 42 though, very good rating. All these tag teams are very, very over. Then we have a bit of a comedy contract signing. It's not one of the serious ones that you have nowadays. There's no post-match brawl. Chris Bay is there in his finest threads. Trying to look like the future star that he believes and he is branded as. Swinger's there in normal Swinger attire. TJP's maybe there in casual clothes, and then maybe we've got Falaba in like a weird suit combo because he's there, as TJP's manager. 38 for the segment. It's just a comedy back and forth. Their match will be next week. TJP versus Chris Bay. But also next week, I believe we'll probably have to have a number 1 contenders match, or the week after probably, just to set up a match for Bound for Glory, assuming that we're not going to run Chris Bay, TJP actually the whole way through. Rain and TJP both struggled off script. I don't know, I keep leaving everybody off script, mainly because one week people seem to struggle, and then the next week they're thriving. So I don't want to stop maybe that development. Let me know what you think in the comments, if I should just start picking people out and scripting them, or if I should just leave everybody unscripted. 53. We get a quick Eddie Edwards vignette. I know it's our world champion, and in the last couple of matches, last couple of weeks he's had mid-card matches and now a vignette. But it's a 53, it's a good segment. He says next week on Impact Wrestling TV he will open up the show and call out his Bound for Glory opponent. He's hand-picking who he wants to go up against at Bound for Glory. So we're gonna get, with the run of Floyd, we're gonna get him into a big feud, and one that I think will draw big ratings. Then we have the last man standing match we've been building up to for a couple of months now. EC3 and Moose. It only goes 16 minutes, and even that was a push. Tommy Dreamer was telling me Moose could not go 16 minutes. Anything more than 14 was a bit dodgy. So yeah, EC3 comes out victorious, wins the TNA World Heavyweight Championship from Moose in a brutal last man standing match when Moose could not beat the 10 count after a sweet meat sizzler. EC3 had an in-ring performance of 52 and Moose a 47. I'm happy with that. Moose was holding back, EC3 was holding back, but it's fine. We're in the... As long as they're not holding back on full-blown pay-per-views, we're fine. And obviously the title's not on the line because in this game world, it doesn't exist. I don't know that they're basing that off of the fact that in real life, they say it's not the the proper TNA World Heavyweight Championship or not, but technically this is now that title transitioning on the EC3. Segment rating was penalized for lack of heat from the storyline. I'm pretty sure the storyline was hot, unless it went down before this. So that's weird. And then 49, the show closes with EC3. Don't know why that was hard to say all of a sudden. Celebrating over a fallen Moose. And that ends our show. 53, that's really good. I think we only have to beat a 47, 49, so we've blown that out of the water. 34 regions increased in. Let me know what you guys think. Any predictions for Bound for Glory? Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Cheers.